going on, guys? Welcome back. It is September 8th. It is 5:15. We have a big storm coming in about 3 hours. It gets dark around 7:15 here, so we don't have a long time to fish. Gonna fish for a couple hours and then head out of here before that storm. Gonna be primarily looking for largemouth. Hopefully we'll get some on top. Nice and calm out there. And we'll be throwing spinner baits to try to find where they are, then maybe topwater and big flukes and see if we can find them. Oh, you got one? Yep. Brother's on first thing. Spinnerbait, I imagine?
Yeah.
That fish was in...
He's digging.
That fish was in...
Oh, look at him. Nice smallie.
Smallmouth. We're in probably 3 feet of water. Got some grass weed, mucky bottom. Not a typical place for smallmouth to be hanging out, but you crushed the spinnerbait. Yeah, that's a brute of a smallmouth. Very nice. Yeah, beautiful fish. Oh, it's fish. Oh yeah, this one's, oh, it's a pickerel. Come on. First fish of the night for me is a pickerel. He buried that too. Pickerel. Yeah, we're in Pickerel Central. Oh, come on. Oh, he broke my spinnerbait.
Oh, did you lose it?
Huh. I can't believe that broke. I bet I've seriously caught probably 60 fish off that. Oh, holy! That fish was on that immediately. Immediately. Oh, 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 oh. Look at the size of that swirl in there. Fish followed. That was a nice something.
He didn't really have it. He was on it, but it wasn't.
Yeah, whatever that was a nice fish.
Storm over there.
Yep, pickerel whirled on me. Oh, there's a fish. Probably a pickerel. Oh, it's a pickerel. I don't know, looking pretty dark. Fish? Looks like a nice one. Off the edge of these weeds? It's probably a bass. Take it off? No, I know we could get buried here pretty soon.
Oh, yeah. It's all storm.
Alright, so just a little bit of a storm update. We weren't supposed to get a storm till about 8:15. It's only probably 5:35. Got a storm there. Big storm there. This whole horizon over there is a storm. And over there is a storm. So we're right in the middle of a storm basically. Have no idea if it's coming towards us, going away from us, but hopefully it misses us. There's a fish. That's a bass, yeah. Not a giant, but first bass of the night. I'll take it. That fish came in probably 5-6 feet of water. Got some submerged weeds, and he hit off a white spinnerbait. That's a little better than I thought it was. Hey, enough. Not a bad fish. A little bigger than I thought it was. He's chubby, been eating well. So that fish came off a spinnerbait. My brother just threw a topwater. We're gonna see if they're hitting topwater any better than they are spinnerbaits. Is that a fish? That's a fish. Little guy. That was one of the laziest hits I've ever had. Little guy. Little guy, just nipping at the end of it. I'm thinking the bass are probably short hitting him tonight. So we've lost quite a few fish that are just kind of not really committing to it. So just a little bit of an update. We're changing locations. That spot we just fished, there weren't much happening there. There was a couple guys fishing it before we got there, so we're heading to some deep weeds now and anywhere from 10 to 12 feet of water. That storm I pointed out earlier, thankfully I haven't got yet. Looks like it missed us. We're only about 40 minutes in. We're going to relocate and see if there's any more fish over this way. Nothing off the spinnerbait, nothing off the topwater. So this storm I pointed out earlier is going all the way from here, all the way this way. Thankfully, it's going way away from us. So if that storm would have hit us, it would have been a nasty one. You notice how like the birds aren't even chirping? Everything's pretty much shut right off this evening. I really thought there'd be, oh, fish. Right. First fish since our location change. And them deep weed beds. White spinnerbait, probably 8 to 10 feet of water. Probably wrapped up in about 100 pounds of weeds. I think that's another nice smallmouth. Yeah, another smallmouth. Yeah, nice little smallmouth. Smallmouth are more active than the largemouth are this evening. Yeah, there's not even a bird chirping. I don't see the loons. Kind of a ghost town out here. Kind of an eerie feeling. Normally the birds are chirping and loons are flying everywhere. I don't know if you can see it, but I got a moth on the surface over there that on any normal night would have been eaten in like 5 seconds. Oh, got another one?
Yep.
Alright, so that's what, on like the second or third cast after that last one?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's got about 20 pounds of weeds on him. Nice bass though. Yeah, nice bass. Spinnerbait fish. 8-10 feet of water. Yeah, it's a nice fish. Nice healthy fish. So I'm setting down the spinnerbait for a while. I'm gonna try the Whopper Plopper. This is a Whopper Plopper 90. We've done all right on spinnerbaits, but I'm gonna give this a try. No, you know what? I'm actually gonna try that shallow running crankbait. All right, nothing off the Whopper Plopper, so we're gonna give this shallow running crankbait a try. Oh, there's a fish. Oh, smallmouth, I bet.
Pickerel.
If that's a pickerel, I'm not gonna be happy. That better not be a pickerel.
No, it's a pickerel.
No, it's a bass.
Nice chunk.
Yeah, it's a chunky. I think that was the first cast with this, wasn't it?
Yeah, maybe.
Like the first actual cast. So this was the first cast with a shallow running crankbait in about 10 feet of water, plus or minus.
Chunk.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a nice fish. Biggest one for me for the evening. Here we go. All right, nice little guy off the shallow running crankbait. I initially wasn't a fan of this lure when I first tried it, but the more I fish this lure, the more I like it. I mean, that thing pulled that fish out of 10 feet of water. There's really nothing over there except like rocks. I'm thinking they're out deep. All right, so I'm going to be alternating between the shallow running crankbait and this Rapala crankbait that goes from 7 to 15. With the braid I have on it, it's probably only going down 7 feet, but we got a couple good fish out of here with this. I'll be alternating between the two. So we have some thunder coming out of this storm. Oh, fish. That was just sitting there, suspended. I'll go back to the fish in a minute. We've got some thunder coming out of this storm behind us, which is going away from us. I had this suspending crankbait just sitting out to the side of the boat and something hammered it. Just about yanked the rod out of my hand. It hit it so hard. So certainly if this storm turns on us and comes after us, we're going to obviously get out of here. But this storm is moving away from us. It's just that's the first time we've actually heard the thunder out of it. All right, so what we're doing now is we're just going to troll a little bit. I have my rod off this side. My brother's trolling off the other side. And I'm just going to cast as we go. Kind of cover both depths and see if we can pick any fish up trolling. Oh, fish. Just had a miss off the shallow running crankbait. Oh, fish. All right, so that's the second miss in about 4 casts. Got him? Yeah, little smallmouth. So my brother did a follow-up cast with a spinnerbait and most likely got that fish I just missed. Oh, could have some bait being pushed over here. So it looks like we have some bait being pushed right over there. Yep, yep, there we go. Oh, that was a nice smallmouth. That was a giant smallmouth. Can't believe that thing tossed it.
I remember I used that lure one summer at camp. I was like, the only lure I ever used.
Yep.
Not freaking. Didn't matter deep we use, shallow we use. Not smoking them up.
Oh. Drag weren't set. Rookie mistake.
Oh, that's a nice one.
That's a nice one.
That's a chunk one.
Oh my God.
Smallie.
Is that a smallmouth?
I think so.
I thought it was a largemouth.
Could just be a dark largemouth.
If that's a smallmouth, that's a giant.
Might be a dark largemouth.
I almost lost this fish. Stay pinned, baby. Stay pinned. Oh, that's a giant largemouth. That is a giant large. No, don't. All right, how am I gonna get this fish? All right, he's gonna.
Oh, help you, you got it.
No, I think I got it. He could toss me. Oh my God, big fish. Yes.
Chunka.
Look at the size of that fish. That is a giant. Look at that. He had that right head first. That is a giant fish.
Nice healthy too.
So I got this stud off of that crankbait there. I almost lost it. I didn't have my drag set. And I saw my line shooting out and went to set the hook on it, and there was just absolutely no tension at all. But thankfully that fish had it good enough that pretty much set the hook by itself. Bam, nice fish. That was an absolute stud of a fish, and that one was right in the area of that bait school we were fishing around. It actually, the bait school has kind of disappeared a little bit, but that fish was certainly hanging out where that was. What that fish did, this crankbait was pretty much down as far as it would go running on this braid, and it was sitting for maybe a 2-second pause, and the fish hammered it. And we're in probably, I would estimate probably 20 feet of water, plus or minus. So just had another hit off that crankbait. Pretty much the same deal. I'll twitch this thing down to approximately 7 to 10 feet, let it sit for a second or two, and the fish hit it. This little guy. The same crankbait I've been catching them on. Yeah, you could go 3.5. Yeah, it's not bad. It's a nice fish. It's white perch. White perch off the crankbait. All right, so we only have about 5 or 10 minutes left, and we're going to be out of light. It's been getting dark around 7:15 up here in Maine. It always amazes me how fast we lose light up here. I was just getting ready to relocate, and this little crankbait was paused, and got another white perch.
Nice one.
Yeah, that's a nice white perch.
Be good eating.
All right, little guy. This may not end well for either one of us. Oh, perfect. Thank you, little guy. I think that's just about all she wrote. All right, folks, that is all for the evening. Weren't bad for only a couple hours fishing. I was fishing just about 2 hours right on the dot. Picked up some good fish towards the end of it. Caught fish mostly on the spinnerbait and a couple different crankbaits. Something big jumped over that way. So we did pretty good fishing around another school of bait that it appeared like some bass were pushing, but them fish we got into were right around 20 feet of water, so it weren't bad. And we didn't get rained on or hit by lightning, which is always great. It's going to be rainy the next couple days, off and on rainy, so I doubt we'll be fishing anytime soon. But we're going to wrap it up here, and we'll see you guys in the next one. It's about 5 minutes from the lake, and it is absolutely downpouring.
Wrapping up and brought to you by
The storm came in right on time. Glad we missed it. It is pouring.
More music
it's
on the
raining
way
pretty
from
good right
Van
now.
Halen,
It's pouring.
Disturbed, Stone Temple Pilots, now with some change.
I don't see any thunder and lightning yet, but we'll see if we can get some violent storms.